The show that explores the relationship between humans and animals in one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Hawaii. Here's what's coming up in the next half hour. We'll tag along with a few beagles as they work hard to keep America's farmland pest-free. Learn how you can stay in shape while bonding with your favorite pet. Find out all about the Shiba Inu in It's All About the Breed. Then we'll witness Abby break the world record for the longest wave surfed by a dog. Pets in Paradise TV starts now. Seven days a week, around the clock, there's a special canine team that's helping to keep America's agricultural lands safe. Here's more on these special forces.
I come in and you might be having a bad day, but there's no other job where your coworkers are that excited to see you. You feel good about your job.
When we're working our dogs, we totally forget about all other problems and such. Our primary focus is on our dogs.
They may not look fierce, but their noses are trained and keen. These ag dogs can track the scent of fruits and veggies faster than any modern technology. Beagles and Beagle mixes are the preferred breed of dog at the airport because of their extra keen sense of smell, non-threatening size, high food drive, and gentle disposition. Every day, these dogs are eager to get started to work. They break up into teams, monitoring all entry points into the state.
Well, here we are, another typical Monday for us. Some of us are getting ready to head out to the mail branch and search some parcels there. Some of us are going to FedEx, and then some of us are going to the airport to talk to some passengers as they're about to fly out to the mainland. So, come on, Flash.
And how do these dogs get compensated for their hard work and daily dedication?
So this is our big trick of the trade. It's called the pouch of power. Our dogs are all very, very food motivated. So everything they do for us is in hopes of getting a treat. So this is the most important part of our day, is that we fill up with some more treats to make sure that our dogs get paid for everything that they do and they find. And we're hoping that we'll have a successful day, find some fruits and plants that aren't allowed to leave the island.
And it's not the fruits and plants that are necessarily harmful, but the little critters that can hitch a ride with the produce. Hawaii is also home to several invasive species, such as coqui frogs and fire ants. And to make sure none of these unwanted critters makes their way to the mainland, the team heads to Honolulu Airport.
Leave it, Alice.
Part of the dogs' uniforms are these jackets, and that's mostly to let the public know that they're working dogs and they have things to do. People say that some dogs know when it's time to work based on when they put on the jacket.
He likes to roll on the carpet, right? He just hit the guano area.
But it's not all work. There's some play, too.
Okay, now you're in. Now you're in.
Hey, we're at gate 21. This flight is going to Seattle. Terry is working with Atlas. Right now, she's running down the rows, letting Atlas sniff every bag. Atlas is also a very good air scenter. He can find anything. A lot of the times when they're air scenting, they will be able to pick it up in the air, any particles of the fruit or plant that is in the air. They'll find it and they'll start searching for it, and he won't stop, especially Atlas, because he has a large appetite. He always wants to eat, and he'll work for food. He'll do anything. So if he smells something in the air, he will find it.
Even the rookie ag dogs can pick up most scents. It's just discerning between the good ones and the bad ones that takes experience.
Okay, gate 21 is all clear. Atlas has done a good job. You got a treat from Terry. He's ready to move on. All right, here we are at gate 22. Jonathan and Bruno ready to go. Bruno has found the flower box.
failing to declare prohibited agricultural products may range up to $1,000 per first-time offense and higher if it's determined the quantities are for commercial use. The same fines apply to prohibited products sent through international mail.
Our dogs are very food-driven, so the more food-driven they are, the more attention they pay attention to us, and we can just walk around. Let's go find it, come on. Let's go find it. Go find it, Sam. What you got? What you got, Sam? Good boy, show me. All right, very good. Excuse me, sir. This is an agriculture inspection. Do you have any fresh fruits, plants, or vegetables in your bag?
I sure do.
In 2013, the output of America's farms contributed about $167 billion to the U.S. economy. And that doesn't count the jobs and related industries that agriculture grows.
And I'll give you a good treat, Zen, for finding these fruits. There you go. All right. Good boy. Yeah, it is. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for helping.
Okay, good boy. Another good day. We all had a few things that we found, so we know that we've done our job in keeping the mainland safe from some of the pests that we don't want to get there. So, good job, Flash. Time to go to bed. We'll see you tomorrow.
There are more than 115 agriculture canine teams providing screening at airports, cruise terminals, mail facilities, and border crossings around the country. They're a critical part of a team that keeps America safe. A group of dogs is called a pack. A group of birds is called a flock. But what is a group of kittens called? A pride, a kindle, or a brood? If you guessed B, you're right. Long before Amazon took the name for its ebook, a group of kittens, and sometimes rabbits, are known as a kindle. We hear it every day, how important it is to get exercise on a regular basis. Doctors around the world all agree that an average healthy individual should get at least 30 minutes of moderate cardio exercise 3 to 5 times a week to keep weight under control and to stay in shape. Exercise is always easiest if we have a partner to do it with. But that partner doesn't necessarily have to be another person. It can also be your pet. In this segment, we'll learn the many ways to work out with your pet and the benefits you'll both see. The simplest form of exercise is walking. An easy way for both you and your dog to get the physical exercise you both need. But it also benefits your dog both socially and behaviorally. And your partner in exercise doesn't necessarily have to be a dog. Exercise can be a lot more rigorous than just walking.
Okay, my dog Roxy, she's going through an identity crisis. She thinks she's a cat, she poops like a horse, she's got ADD and is the only official parkour dog.
Parkour is a training discipline that's generally associated with military obstacle courses. But it's moved into the civilian world many times as part of CrossFit training. It involves running, climbing, vaulting, jumping, and other vigorous movements.
I've been teaching parkour for over a year now, ever since I started doing it by my side, and she never ceased to amaze me. Just the way that she moves, she's very exploratory, and it's always looking for a new toy to jump on top of.
Roxy and Ozzy both enjoy the benefits of parkour. But if you're the type of individual not driven to such extremes,
He's in the zone.
there's always something like this.
I can go a half hour, but I'll let him go 2 hours, and he'll just barely break a sweat.
Bogey loves to work out on the treadmill with his owner. It's safer, and the weather's better.
Like any athlete, we started Bogey with a very slow pace, and as we progressed, we found out that the faster he goes, the better he likes it. There's times when Bogey will ask us, he'll look at the treadmill once, and then he'll look at us as if he wants to go on the treadmill, so we'll drop what we're doing so he can play.
It looks like a great idea, but a treadmill isn't for all dogs. The noise scares many away. But take your time, and who knows, your pet may enjoy it. For the hardcore treadmill pooch, and if you don't mind parting with about $500, There's even a treadmill made just for dogs. But of course, nothing beats being outside with your dog in the fresh air and sunshine.
So in the summertime here on the North Shore, the waves are down, so we like to stay busy, we like to stay active, and the way we do that is we do a lot of stand-up paddleboarding.
Exercising with your pet in the water is always a good way to stay cool.
So when we're stand-up paddleboarding, I'm the one getting all the exercise, providing the thrust and the ride, and these guys are just kind of along for the cruise, but they enjoy looking out. We'll see turtles from time to time. They like watching fish jump around.
Be sure that your dog can swim and get him a canine life jacket because certain breeds aren't very good swimmers.
Come on, let's go. However, when we're on land and we're riding the bicycle, our roles are reversed a little bit where these guys do all the pulling. They're like sled dogs. They got the mush command and they take off, and I'm just cruising on my bicycle going about 20, 25 miles an hour.
Activities like this, though, come with a word of caution. Hot asphalt can hurt a dog's feet, and heat exhaustion can also be a factor. That's why Rocky and his dogs exercise in the cooler hours of the day, and he knows the signs when his dogs are getting tired.
So with these two puppies being quite young, 2.5 and 1.5, we have a lot of great exercising years ahead of us, and me heading into the middle-aged part of my life, it's going to be a great partnership between us and our exercising and what we get to do for the next long time coming.
In the end, regular exercise benefits both of you. It controls weight, it fights off disease, improves disposition, boosts energy, and is a lot of fun. Which one of these dogs is the closest ancestor to the wolf? The Alaskan Husky, the Malamute, Shiba Inu, or the German Shepherd? Find out right after this. It turns out that the closest ancestor to the wolf is the Shiba Inu. And in this segment, we're going to learn all about the Shiba Inu in It's All About the Breed. The Shiba Inu looks a lot like an Akita, only much smaller. Their average weight is about 23 pounds for males and 17 for females. The average life expectancy is 12 to 15 years, although one Shiba lived to the age of 26, and at the time was one of the oldest dogs alive, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. In addition to being related to wolves originally, Shiba Inus are one of the oldest dog breeds, dating back to the 3rd century BC. They were originally bred to hunt and flush small game, but later became fashionable as pets. They almost became extinct during World War II because of a food shortage and a post-war distemper epidemic in Japan. 3 bloodlines did survive, though, and all of today's Shibas are from those roots. Shibas are new to America, with the first litter being born in 1979 and the AKC recognizing them in 1992. The breed has been known to be aggressive toward other dogs, but proper training can prevent that behavior. They can be reserved toward strangers, but are loyal and affectionate to their owners and other people who earn their respect. If they are provoked or are unhappy, they make a noise that's called the Shiba scream, a loud, high-pitched scream. Sometimes they even make the Shiba scream when they're really happy, like when their owner returns after a long absence. Although Shibas need some help in the grooming department, they're otherwise very clean and fastidious dogs. Some owners have even compared them to cats because they're always grooming themselves. As for health issues, Shibas can suffer from many ailments that lots of breeds develop, including allergies, glaucoma, cataracts, and hip dysplasia. But overall, Shibas have good genes and are relatively free of genetic defects compared to other breeds. As with other breeds, Shibas need to be walked and exercised daily. And now you know all about the Shiba Inu. Up next, the world record for the longest wave surfed by a dog. In this segment, you're going to see a surf contest with some unusual competitors.
We're here today at the first annual Going to the Dogs Surfer Competition. It's at the Duke's Ocean Fest.
And this is the first year that Hawaii and Duke's Ocean Fest is doing a dog surfing contest.
We've got 3 dogs and a pig that are going to be getting in the water here in a few minutes.
Sancho's 6 years old. He's a Chihuahua.
Capone is a half Neapolitan Mastiff and a half Blue Nose Pit Bull. Kama's a Polynesian wild boar. He's a type of breed that the ancient Polynesians brought along with them in their voyages to Hawaii. He's a direct descendant of the ancient hogs that the Polynesians brought.
Abby is an Australian Kelpie. She's 35 pounds.
So the plan for Sancho and I is I'm gonna swim out with him and then I'm gonna put him on his board and give him a little push to go and see how he does.
We're tandem surfers. I take him out, he loves the nose ride, he's all about it. We're gonna get out there and catch as many big bombs as we can.
Abby's unique because she's a dog. She surfs by herself. I don't get on this board, it's just her, solo. And she's goofy up front, regular in the back.
Any breed of dog that has a passion for the waves is eligible to join the competition. But it's not only dogs that get into the action.
Kama's a wave hog. He likes to catch everything, but you know, we ride together. My partner in crime right there. So he likes to ride the nose while I ride the tail, kind of counterbalance his rump roast.
This is one of Hawaii's biggest annual ocean sports events, Duke's Ocean Fest. Held each year in honor of legendary Hawaiian surfer and Olympic swimmer Duke Kahanamoku. Known as a one-man visitors bureau, Kahanamoku embodied the spirit of aloha and was regarded as a symbol of all that's good in Hawaii. Ocean Fest reflects that spirit and not only includes surfing competitions, but other ocean activities as well, including paddleboard racing, swimming, surf polo, and volleyball. And now they're letting dogs in on the fun.
Abby's a 9-year-old Australian Kelpie. We needed to get her engaged in some activities. As a rescue, she was a little bit traumatized. One day we just put her on a surfboard while we were swimming and she stood up, so we pitched the board in the wave and everything kind of went crazy since then. That was 8 years ago. We've been surfing ever since. Abby has 2 Guinness World Records. The first one is for the longest wave surfed by a dog, and the second one's the same thing. She broke her first record. So currently the record stands at 320 some feet. It was the longest ride down in San Diego. We had a good time. She knows how to trim the board, she's figured it out. We're just looking for better ways to get Abby a better ride, and our buddies up in Carlsbad, INT Surf Tech, they custom made a board for her, and we kind of like shaped the rails a little bit and messed with the rocker. It's a foam top board, so her claws can get a little bit of grip. Yeah, Abby, come.
You may not have known it, but dog surfing has been around quite a while. Duke Kahanamoku's brother David might have been one of the first when his dog Spot worked the waves off Waikiki. In the 1930s, a dog was also featured surfing in a silent film set in Hawaii. Over the years, there have been dramatic changes to the sport, but one thing hasn't changed: the thrill of surfing has remained the same. Meanwhile, back at the action, the dogs are having a great time in the surf, and the spectators are loving it from the beach.
Oh mate, it was hectic. You got pig surfing, dog surfing. I mean, you know, what's going on?
It was amazing. It was so cute. They were adorable. Yeah.
Surfing dogs, can't beat that.
That blew me away. I've never seen that before. If I die and go to heaven now, I tell you, I've seen it all and I'm so happy. I saw a pig surf.
The locals are good.
How's the waves?
The locals are good. Oh, the waves are good.
Today, there are dog surfing competitions held around the world, including the big Queensland Surf Festival in Australia. But wherever you go, it's fun.
But I think we got quite a few long waves. It was great. It was fun.
Capone was definitely representing for the locals, getting some long bombs off the outside, and leaving us Howleys on the inside to work on our wave selection. So we're going to have to work on it, move over here, and then try it again next year.
Even with the glory of the awards and prizes handed out, it all boils down to one thing: fun in the water for some unlikely surfers. Welcome to Pets in Paradise TV, the show that explores the relationship between humans and their pets in one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Hawaii. Here's what's coming up in the next half hour. We'll witness how it took 2 animal trainers to help this dog overcome his social fears. Earth Dog is a growing sport. Find out if it's right for your dog. Then, we'll learn how size doesn't matter when it comes to herding cows. Plus, we'll learn all about the Labradoodle, and it's all about the breed. Pets in Paradise TV starts now. In this segment, we're going to explore the underground world of Earth Dogs.
Release when ready. Welcome to the Terriers in Paradise AKC Earth Dog tests.
Earth Dogs is a chance for dogs to go back to their roots. Believe it or not, small terriers were bred as hunting dogs to track game above and below ground. Earth Dogs consists of various levels of tests designed to test the game dog's natural instincts. Caged rats and rat scent is used to incite the terriers through a series of tunnels and underground courses. It's a fun challenge for both the dogs and the handlers to master each level, and an outlet for the little dogs to burn excess energy.
This is a regular straight tunnel. It's a 9 by 9 inch tunnel. It's just very little, slightly underground.
So it goes like this, and then it turns here, and then it turns here.
This one here is for the master's level. One of the restrictors, it narrows that 9 by 9 inch tunnel, so it gets a little more narrow for the dog to get through.
And then it turns here, and at this end is where the rat is.
Prey drive is, we try to awaken it in the animals.
The rat is protected, double cage, so it doesn't come into contact with the dog.
The dogs really don't come in contact with the rats at all, but they get the scent of the rat and they watch the rats move.
Each level gets progressively harder as you advance.
There are more than 25 breeds eligible to participate in the sport, most being a type of terrier. Ironically, the word terrier means dirt.
This is Mozzie's very first time, so we'll keep our fingers crossed, but it's a big transition to go from looking at a rat in a cage on top of the ground to going underground where it's pitch black.
Even though it might be in their DNA, it takes courage for the little dogs to go down into a dark tunnel, using their noses as their only guide. Practice and encouragement is needed to succeed. No experience is necessary to join in on the Earth Dog fun. There's an introductory course aimed to ease the dog and handler into the game, mostly so the dog can understand the concept of entering tunnels and working the rats. The handlers are often encouraged to stand by the entrance of the tunnel so the dog feels safe to enter. And there are often windows along the way to check on your dog as they make their way through the tunnels and dens.
Hi, this is Ollie, Oxenfree. She's a Jack Russell Terrier, and she's just hitting 6 months old, and she is going to be a Earth Dog today for her very first time.
Release your dog when ready.
Most teams need practice before moving their way up the ranks, but there's always the exception when a new dog takes to it right away. The best way to get started is to take your dog to areas where he or she can practice following the scent of small animals. Encourage them to follow the scent. That's the key to Earth Dog success. You can also request a rule book from the American Kennel Club and research the Earth Dog events near you so you can begin the underground journey together.
At the end of the day, we take all the tunnels up to preserve them, to keep them from getting too much moisture on them. And then we cover that dig so that hopefully the rain doesn't saturate everything. And then we stack everything up over there and cover everything and wait for the next day.
Everyone knows that some dogs can bite really hard, but a dog's bite can't compare to other members of the animal kingdom. Which of these have the strongest bite? A great white shark, a hyena, or a crocodile? If you guess a crocodile, you're right. Their bite can generate a pressure of 3,700 pounds per square inch, compared to 1,100 for a hyena and a meager 625 for a great white shark. Where does a dog's bite come in? It hardly makes the list at an average of 325 pounds per square inch. They're lean, mean herding machines. In this segment, we find out how a Hawaiian rancher is teaching dogs how to herd livestock using their natural predator instinct.
Because you can use a predator-prey concept to work your livestock, it's a lot easier for the dog to go out and maneuver through the brush and through the rocks than it would be for us to walk on foot or on a horse. The value of these dogs, to me, it's one dog is worth 10 cowboys.
Abe Gonzalez is an expert at training any breed and any size dog how to herd animals. Here are a few tricks of his trade.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to teach her to down without bending over. As you can see, she's already giving in a little bit. So I'm going to ask her down, down. And what I do is I'll put pressure on the rope and hold them down till they submit. Good girl. See, this is what I call lunging. I teach the dog to follow. Get over, get over, get over. Besides burning energy on the dog is I'm trying to teach her to direction. So as time goes on, when I'm asking her to chase, I'm going to give her a right command and a left command. And what I'll do is I'll just move it around and let them chase it till they're tired. And then once you see them start to want to lay down, then that's when you start controlling and commanding.
Abe teaches these same concepts and begins controlling and commanding dogs at a young age.
And like with most pups, the first few minutes I allow them to just kind of get their spunk out, and then we'll try to go to work from there. Okay, walk up, steady, walk up, steady, walk up, walk up. Good girl, get around. If you see how her style is, she's more of a stalker than a chaser. Back, back, over, over. Good girl.
Let's kick it up a notch and see how Abe uses these herding skills on cattle.
Right now, I'm just trying to teach her where she can walk up and be able to move these cattle quietly. Shh, shh, shh. Back, back. See, this is considered a head dog because they always want to run to the head and stop them. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to teach her that she can work on both sides and be able to control our situation here. So right now she wants to focus on this one cow running, so I need to move her over a little bit. Over, over, steady, back, back. See, she'll try to get in front, but I'm going to control it. I'm going to move her back. Shh, watch, 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 shh. No, back. Good girl, good girl, good girl.
And for those dogs who suffer from bovinophobia, that's fear of cows, Abe has the solution.
Sir ducks. And we let Trey go. Watch that corner. These are Indian runner ducks. We use them for the smaller dogs, the shorter legged dogs. Try to do with the paddle is to move them off the livestock so that they learn their pressure and distance. And that's what this paddle is for, to keep the livestock safe from the dogs from biting them. Good boy.
Bring him back. Abe uses the dog's instincts as their strength. That's why even the smallest dogs can control animals 100 times bigger than they are.
I actually have a Chihuahua on the Big Island. His name is Mocha, and he was working sheep. He can work sheep, he can work cows, mama cows, and I also had him working with me down at a feedlot, and he'd drive 30 to 40 head of cows, young cows, from pen to pen. And the majority of the cattle that he was moving ranged from 500 to 800-pound cows. Any type of dog will work as long as they have the heart and the right training and desire.
So which one of these dogs is hypoallergenic? Well, actually, none of them are. It turns out that it's not the fur people are allergic to, but the dander on a dog's skin. The dander is released when a dog sheds, so dogs that don't shed much create fewer allergic reactions, like the poodle, which is considered to be the most hypoallergenic breed. So what happens when you cross a poodle with a Labrador? A Labradoodle. And today we'll find out all about it, and it's all about the breed. There are some mixed breed dogs that don't work out so well. The Yorkie Poo, a hybrid of the Yorkshire Terrier and a poodle, they look cute but are considered little barking dynamos with too much energy. Or the Taco Terrier, a combination of the Toy Fox Terrier and a Chihuahua. A small combination that has a big tendency to make trouble. But one mix that's really taken off is the Labradoodle, a mix of the Labrador Retriever and the Poodle. What you get is a very smart, family-friendly dog that has the additional benefit of being easy on people with allergies. The Labradoodle is a relatively new hybrid that got its start in 1988 when an Australian man took up the challenge to find a breed that could be a guide dog for a blind man who had allergies. The Poodle is somewhat hypoallergenic, and the intelligent Labrador is easy to train. The Labradoodle got the good traits from both breeds, and the man got the perfect companion. But aside from being good guide dogs, Labradoodles make great family pets and are becoming more and more popular. They come in 3 sizes: standards, mediums, and miniatures, and can have straight, curly, or wavy coats. As for health, they can develop problems common to both breeds. They have a life expectancy of 13 to 15 years. There are several funny named hybrids available: the Cockapoo, a Cocker Spaniel Poodle, the Golly, a Golden Retriever and a Collie, the Puggle, a Pug and a Beagle, and the Jacoby, a Jack Russell Terrier and a Beagle. But the combination of Labrador and Poodle is fast becoming a favorite around the world. And now you know all about the Labradoodle. Stay tuned to find out how Caesar gets help to overcome his extreme social issues. Meet Caesar. He's a 4-year-old mixed breed, but with a few behavioral issues. Caesar loses control anytime he sees another dog. In this segment, you'll see a miraculous change, thanks to some professional help.
So this is Caesar's neighborhood, and this is our daily walk, and there's 3 pit bulls in a van that are barking at him, and any dog's going to get a little apprehensive or nervous around dogs barking at him from a car. But Caesar might take it to a little bit more extreme. He'll flail, bite at the leash, jump, and we're trying to get him past that. When Caesar sees another dog, his main problem is he gets unpredictable and jumps up and tries to go at the other dog. And the reason he does that is because he's on leash. He can't flee the situation, and he can't hold his ground because the other dog might still be coming at him. And so his tactic is to jump up high and growl and hopefully keep the other dog at bay.
It may look like Caesar is the aggressor, but believe it or not, Caesar is one of the nicest dogs you'll find, as long as he doesn't feel threatened by other dogs. When he is, he goes into survival mode, and that's when extra safeguards are needed.
I've got a waist harness on for Caesar. He is so strong that the metal pieces on the leash can break off, and so I don't want to put anybody at risk if that happens while he's in the learning process. You notice I have him on a double leash. So if this leash fails, I've got a safeguard. And if you notice, this leash is around his face so I can control his head movements better. And I've got it marked so it's easy for me to see which one is his head and which one is just around his neck, so that I have better control when he's out of control. So I've been working with dogs for about 10 years. You know, usually I've been able to train them to exhibit better behaviors, but Caesar's been my hardest case. I've never had a dog this difficult to work with and to figure out. The thing about it is he's a fast learner. I could see that, but I couldn't get him past a certain point of training. I'm a dog trainer, but Caesar's problems were extraordinary, and I needed to call in an animal behavioralist, so I called Wendy Ma.
An animal behaviorist is someone who is certified to find the underlying cause of behavioral problems. Once the trigger is identified, the dog trainer can more effectively teach the dog the skills needed to learn healthier behavior.
How you doing? How you doing? He's doing pretty good. He's still kind of...
I was contacted recently by Nancy with a dog that she's been working with, Caesar, and the problems that she presented to me was that when Caesar saw other dogs, he would jump up, flail around, even at times try and bite her. But the weird thing was he would lunge up at some dogs and not others, and Nancy couldn't quite figure out what the problem was.
So animal behaviorist Wendy invited Nancy and Caesar to participate in one of her group classes.
If you know where your dog's trigger zones are...
So she could carefully study Caesar's reaction to other dogs and hopefully identify the trigger that causes his wild behavior.
I noticed in class Caesar was paying attention to all the other dogs around him, but very little attention to Nancy. And Nancy was paying very little attention to Caesar as well. Nancy didn't have much trust in Caesar for obvious reasons, and Caesar could feel that lack of confidence in Nancy. So I knew I needed to get Nancy and Caesar to build that confidence in each other and work as a team.
So Wendy pointed out that I was looking at the environment more than I was looking at Caesar. I was trying to keep him safe around other dogs, but that took my attention off of him. And he was also doing the same thing. So she pointed out that we needed to form a better relationship as far as eye contact and attention to each other. Caesar, good boy. Caesar, good boy, Caesar. Good boy. Oh, that's a good boy.
Wendy recommended to Nancy to change up Caesar's meal times. Instead of feeding him regular meals at home, she wanted Nancy to try feeding him while on walks and while around other dogs.
So instead of worrying about the dog, he's looking for his treat. And since Caesar hasn't had breakfast or dinner, he's really motivated to look up and, get some of those cheese or chicken or, his breakfast.
So now getting his food from Nancy is more important than any other distractions out in the environment.
Practicing almost every moment on the walk on how to behave nicely.
Which results in a strong bond and trust in Nancy.
Because we want him less worried about the dogs and more interested in getting his reward for looking up at me. So we were walking past a dog that was barking and lunging at Caesar, and I'm kind of a little reactive.
Only a few days of training, and Caesar is already showing marked improvement.
So due to the training I've done with Wendy, instead of being reactive to that dog, he walked calmly by. That's success. So right now we're using food to reinforce the eye contact, but later when he's doing this habitually without any problem, without having to think about it, the food's going to disappear, and he'll just walk by dogs and look up and just be as happy as can be.
So it's been about 2 weeks since I first started working with Nancy and Caesar, and he's made great strides.
He's definitely on the way to becoming a well-mannered, good canine citizen. Huh, Caesar Wees? Yes, you are. He's a good boy. Yeah.
So when a dog trainer gets stuck on a dog's case and can go no further, they rarely seek out the help of another trainer. And the dog is the one that really suffers in the end. So the fact that Nancy actually sought out help actually could have saved Caesar's life in the long run.
The lesson Caesar learned can be a lesson to all of us. Not everyone around us is a threat. There are ways to partner together that can make the walk of life much more enjoyable for all. Welcome to Pets in Paradise TV, the show that explores the relationship between humans and animals, and what better place to do it than Hawaii. Here's what's coming up in the next half hour. We'll learn what it takes to get your dog trained to be an agility champion. Then we'll see how an ultrasound scan can help veterinarians save lives. Find out what goes on behind the scenes at a polo game. Plus, we'll learn all about the Dachshund, and it's all about the breed. Pets in Paradise TV starts now. It's a growing sport for both people and their canines. It requires teamwork, speed, and most of all, agility.
Agility is a sport, an athletic sport for both dogs and handlers, which is why it's fun. So there's dog training involved, as well as the athletic part of running with your dog and having a good time with your animal.
In this segment, we check out the Hawaiian Agility Handlers Association in action on their training course.
The dogs actually enjoy climbing on the equipment, running through the tunnels, doing the sets of weed pulls.
Agility is a sport for dogs of all breeds and at all stages of learning. There's lots to learn and enjoy as both the dog and handler train to become an agility team.
So it's a very participatory sport in that the dogs are having a good time right along with the handlers.
Throughout the obstacle course, the handler can only use their voice, movement, and various body signals to coordinate maneuvers with their canine.
You can have fun in the sport of agility with absolutely any breed. There's some that are a little bit more athletic, a little bit more built for the job, but there's no reason that anyone can't bring their dog out to Saturday afternoon class and get involved in the sport of agility and have a really nice time.
Some people do agility just for the fun and exercise. Others take it to the next level and compete against other teams.
It's such a dance between you and the dog, and it's very kinesthetic sport. The dog senses, and you can't be just up in your logical head. You know, once the physical conditioning and the foundation's in place, this is really what unlocks the true fun of the sport, when you can get into that zone with your dog.
So Carol, let's do the jump to the tunnel over to the teeter-totter on this round. All right, so get her playing first. So Holly's a novice dog. She's sort of a middle-range height dog. So we actually have height classes for the teeniest, tiniest little dogs all the way up to the largest dogs, as well as different performance levels.
If you are considering agility training for your dog, remember that the foundation for all agility training starts with basic obedience, learning how to sit, stay, and come when called. When those are learned, you can move on to a training course where maneuvers are taught by rewards, both treats and verbal praise. And lastly, have fun. If agility training isn't fun for everybody, it's simply not going to work.
So this is Christy with her German Shepherd Cyrus, and she's been involved competing for about a year with her dog, sort of at the entry level. And German Shepherds are well-known working dogs, but not necessarily one of the more seen dogs in the agility sport, but she does an incredible job with her dog. All right, let's go see if we can do a couple jumps here. Now we want Christy to go over the A-frame and approach this next big piece of contact equipment, the dog walk, and stop at the bottom. Very nice.
Each obstacle course is different, but there are some universal rules. That way, the scoring of the runs is not just for time, but for skill and accuracy.
So the contact equipment consists of 3 different pieces. This is the dog walk. We have the A-frame, which is a larger, wider board, and we have the seesaw, which actually moves. There's a yellow zone at the bottom of each one of these pieces of contact equipment, and the dog must touch at least one paw on this yellow zone. So one of the methodologies for a large dog is actually to teach them to stop in the zone with 2 feet on the ground and 2 feet on the board.
Ready, steady! Steady! Okay, go feet.
This is Les and his dog JJ, a Shetland sheepdog. JJ is one of Hawaii's top competitors and is now competing across the United States.
What makes Les and JJ a very competitive team is the dog has a lot of speed and enthusiasm. You see she's playing with a toy. Les is athletic and the dog is athletic. So she's got trainability, she's smart, and she's athletic, and that puts together a very nice agility team.
Teamwork is vital in this sport. If a handler can effectively direct their dog around the new course accurately, they can avoid getting penalties on their score.
As you can see, her athletic ability takes her up and over those contacts as fast as she can be, and then the precision of making sure she gets the contact zone. This is freestyle. So he's not actually following a course, he's just training his dog over the A-frame, over the jump. So this is what we do sort of on a weekly or a monthly basis with our dogs.
We just got done running with JJ on an agility course. We try to do this once a week. It's very good exercise, and it's great team building with her, and she's a great dog to play with.
In the end, it's about having fun, the team spirit, and camaraderie.
This agility community is really a community. The handlers are all look out for each other, they participate together, they're a small knit group, and it's like one of the most friendly, wonderful places for me to come and teach every single year.
Do you know which of the following animals sleeps the most? A python, a domestic house cat, a brown bat? We'll tell you the answer right after this. If you're a cat owner, you probably think it sleeps more than any other animal on Earth. But no, cats are actually down the list at 15 hours a day. A python sleeps 18 a day, but it's the brown bat that takes the record, sleeping an average of 19.9 hours a day. That's a lot of hanging around.
Okay, so we're on our way. First patient of the day is going to be a cardiac study. We're going to Ohana Pet, and I'm not really sure if we're doing a dog or a cat, but we are going to image the heart.
This is Leo Stewart. She's a registered diagnostic medical stenographer. We're going to see what her day is like scanning pets.
When I originally started my business, the ultrasound machine weighed about 450 pounds. And now it's 8 pounds. And this is the machine. It's about $45,000.
An ultrasound exam is a way of looking inside your pet's body without having to perform surgery. It sends sound waves into the body, then uses the echoes to create an image.
Vina, I'm Leo. Leo's going to do our ultrasound. Yeah. We're going to put some gel on his skin, get him a little wet, and we're going to put his head on the white towel.
Nalo is a black lab who has been experiencing shortness of breath and anxiousness. They're hoping an ultrasound will reveal if anything is going on internally.
And the machine will tell us how well the heart is functioning.
We were told that labs have heart murmurs. It's normal for them to have this problem.
We're kind of getting some irregular tones there, and you have a little scratchy sound. This tells us the heart beats a little bit faster than what we like to see for larger dogs.
Leo is studying the different colors to examine the blood flow in Nalo's heart. The results look concerning.
And we have a valve that's leaking a little bit here, so we get this mosaic of color.
Gathering high-resolution images is just the first step in finding answers for what's ailing Nalo.
And so we'll send those images out. The specialists will let us know what their recommendations are for this pet.
Nalo has been coming here since he was 6 weeks old. So I'm hopeful that we can find some kind of medication for him so he can live out his normal doggy life best way possible.
Bye, Nala. Okay, bye, Nala. See you later. Ultrasound imaging options. I could probably be there in about 20 minutes. I'm on the road right now.
The need for ultrasounds is in demand.
So we just added on another patient.
Leo's schedule changes by the hour, and now she's heading to Aloha Animal Hospital to help a very uncomfortable collie.
Looks like this pet came in not eating well. They did an exam, they could palpate something in the abdomen. So we're going to do the ultrasound to see if there's a mass on any of the organs or what that lump that they felt might be. And we're going to put the dog on the table.
My name is Dr. Douglas Chang here at Aloha Animal Hospital, and if you think I'm looking like I'm in pain, it's because I am, and it's because of this dog bit me the other day. What happened was we lifted up the tail to get a temperature, and the dog was really painful and bit us. Further exam, we found that the reason that this dog presented for not eating and not feeling well is that he's got a big mass in the caudal or the back part of his abdomen, and it looks like it's involving the nerves that supply the bladder and the anus as well as the tail. So we're doing an ultrasound as a non-invasive way to look in there and hopefully get more information so that we can make a more intelligent decision about the diagnosis and its treatment.
Ultrasound is just one picture of the big puzzle. So we have to put all this information back together with the x-rays to determine what's really going on with the pet.
The ultrasound is showing that there is a mass in his testicle and spleen. The prognosis is not good, but at least there are now answers as to why he is so uncomfortable and a starting point of how to bring him back to health.
Okay, so we just left Aloha Animal Hospital, and now we're on our way to Feather and Fur Animal Clinic in Kailua.
Leo is going to check in on one of her feline friends who is recovering from liver surgery.
Okay, so we're getting ready to do an ultrasound. It's on a cat.
So this is Stinky Boo Boo. He's a 10-year-old diabetic cat, and he's been vomiting. So we had ultrasounded his pancreas to see what was going on. And when we were doing that, we saw that he had a tumor or a small spot in his liver, and it slowly grew, and so we biopsied it, and it turned out that it was indeed a tumor. So we scheduled him for surgery, removed that lobe of his liver, and today we're doing a follow-up exam to see if there's any signs of the tumor coming back. Looks like good news. All the liver tissue looks normal.
Lucky for Stinky Boo Boo, his tumor appears to have been completely intercepted and there is no indication it's coming back.
Today ended on a happy note. We have a success story here with Boo Boo.
And he has a bright future ahead with 8 more lives left. In the 1972 Olympics, a certain breed of dog was chosen as mascot. Can you guess which breed? The Greyhound, the Great Dane, the Dachshund, or the Dalmatian? So what breed was the 1972 Olympic mascot? If you picked the Dachshund, you're right. In fact, they even built the marathon course in the shape of a Dachshund. And now it's time to learn more about the Dachshund. Everybody loves those little short-legged, long-bodied dogs that we refer to as a wiener dog, the Dachshund. Their size and shape may be humorous, but there's a reason. Dachshund is a German breed that literally means badger dog. They were originally bred to hunt burrowing animals like badgers, prairie dogs, rabbits, and other small prey. They come in 3 sizes: standard, miniature, and Kaninchen, a German word meaning little rabbit. The most common, though, are the standards and miniatures that weigh from 8 to 11 pounds. Dachshunds make great competitors and often compete in dachshund races, including the Wiener Nationals. Writer H.L. Mencken once said that a dachshund is half a dog high and a dog and a half long. They come in 3 types of coats: short hair, long hair, and wire hair, and come in a variety of patterns and colors, although the most popular is red. Dachshunds are excellent pets and are listed as the 7th most popular breed. They're fun-loving, loyal, and are good apartment dwellers. Because they love to be around people, they can get bored and are notorious for chewing things if left alone for long periods of time. They thrive on companionship and seldom display shyness. Because of their breeding as hunting animals, Dachshunds can be stubborn and are known for their propensity for chasing prey, including tennis balls, with great determination. They can also be aggressive to strangers and to other dogs. Their bark can be loud and persistent. Training is helpful, but because of their stubborn nature, it can be a challenge. In their home country of Germany, they're loved by everyone and are considered a national symbol. The Dachshund was even made the official mascot of the 1972 Summer Olympics in Munich. And now you know all about the Dachshund. Up next, we explore the relationship between a polo horse and its rider.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the beginning of the Battle in the Saddle for 2012 is just about ready to get underway.
It's a sport that dates back to the 1st century. It's a game of skill, danger, precision, and horses. In this segment, we take a closer look at the game of polo and go behind the scenes to find out just what this game is made of.
You know, this is the beginning of the polo season, and it's an absolutely spectacular day.
Polo was popularized by the British and has made its way to the islands.
Today, opening day, we've got probably 1,000 people here.
It's been a long-standing tradition on Oahu's North Shore since 1965.
Polo is a sport of kings, but none of us are kings.
They may not be kings, but this royal sport was said to have originated in Persia and picked up by the Byzantine Empire. Although it can be dangerous, it's also a sport full of elegance and grace.
And this is the first game of the season, so I'm nervous.
But today is just a friendly game, and we get together with friends, we just play.
He's excitable, huh? Yeah. He's anxious to get going.
And how does this game get going? Let's get a quick lesson from former Honolulu Mayor Peter Carlisle.
So what's going to happen is I'm going to take this ball, and it's about the size of a hard ball, and although it's sort of waxy, and then I'm going to roll it around a number of people like this and a beautiful horse like this who's a little bit skittish. And then what will happen is they'll be lined up in the middle, horses facing horses with riders, and I'll pitch this ball out like that, and that will begin the first chuck. Is that correct?
Chucker.
The first chucker, all right?
All right, the game is off and underway. These polo ponies can stop on a dime, give you a change for a quarter.
The game is played on a field 200 yards long by 300 yards wide, the size of almost 10 football fields. In this game, there are 2 teams of 4. Just like football, there are goals on each side of the field. Each goal is 24 feet wide.
And the object is to hit the ball through the goal, just like any other sport, like soccer. So the line of the ball in polo is the most important rule that we have. Whatever player last hits the ball, could be forward, could be backwards, to the side, whatever direction that ball was just hit, that's the new direction of the ball. That's the new line of the ball. And so every player on the field has to respect that line and go with the line. You can't like cross the line.
Now let's take a look at what you need to play polo. You need a mallet.
This is a polo mallet. They are made out of a cane and a hardwood head. The object is to hit the ball dead center where the cane meets the head.
You need courage.
Literally, we get up to speeds of about 35 to 40 miles an hour. And on a 1,000-pound animal, chasing a little white ball with other guys trying to do the same thing, it gets pretty hairy out there.
And you need a good horse.
A good horse that will take you there, you focus on the ball, and then that's how the game moving faster and forward.
The right side of the horse is the offside, and that's your typical forward shot. That's the offside. Okay, now on this side, the left side is the near side, same shot going forward or back.
Teamwork there, Devin taking that ball up, trying to come through the traffic, keeps the ball in front of himself. Here comes Chris Dawson with the next shot. He tries to get there in time, but it's wide.
Let's take a behind-the-scenes look at how these athletes prepare for game day.
Okay, well, grooming is such an important job because our players don't have enough time to do this themselves.
A groom should do all of the cleaning and equipment because your player's life depends on it, and if anything is loose or broken, it's the groom's responsibility to let the player know.
So basically, what we try to do here is make sure we're taking care of the horses and preparing them for the game. It's the best job I could hope for.
Out of the pack comes Brian Laporte turning the ball with that horse that he loves riding.
And in this sport, it's all about the horse.
The way you can tell if a horse loves the game is that if you're neck and neck with your opponent going for a ride-off, which is a legal move to remove somebody from the line of the ball, your horse will either shy away from it, but this horse, she wants to bump, so she will actually go and bump the other horse and make a face.
They constitute 70% of the game, the riders 30% of the game.
You know, the horses gotta love the game or else you can't get them to play.
If you don't take really good care of your horses, they're not happy, they won't play well.
We're very lucky that we have horses that love this sport as much as we do.
Coming through is Julian Alvarez, a beautiful and a goal for the red team.